Hattie. Jericho Green here with you again. And another Republican has won a Senate seat. Yes, Miss Cindy Hyde-Smith of Mississippi won the runoff. And she is the senator of said state. Now, there was a little bit of hoopla in her campaign because she said that if someone invited her to a public hanging, she would be there in the front row. Of course, this day and age, you can't bring up certain words around the Fabergé eggs of ethnicities, aka black folks, and people went nuts. They were saying how she's a racist and how could she say these terrible things in the history of Mississippi and the history of Mississippi and the history of Mississippi. So, Mr. Oswald Bates himself, Michael Clark, what's his name? Michael Eric Dyson, that fucking mouth diarrhea himself, Mr. Verbal tangled ball of Christmas lights. You ever try to untangle a ball of Christmas lights? It's confusing and overwhelming. Just like the words he uses when he talks. He went on and on. It was like, dude, when the fuck are you going to shut up? He just kept going and going. We need to turn our introspection into reconstruction. The neck bone is connected to the backbone, and the wrist bone is connected to the hand bone. You sound fucking ridiculous, man. What are you talking about? And one of these other clowns, this was on CNN, of course. CNN or MSNBC always has this asshole on. But there's two or three other clowns on this panel. And one of them apparently is named Caleb because he kept saying, and like Brother Caleb said, like, what do you mean, brother? Don't try to use this inclusive fucking language, you racist asshole. Out of one side of your mouth, you're saying Brother Caleb, like we all need to be united and together. But out of the other side of your mouth, you're calling this woman, this Senator Smith, you're calling her a racist and a white supremacist. So where does the inclusive language begin and where does it stop? This doesn't make any fucking sense. In this day and fucking age, 2018, do you think a politician who's running for election, who's trying to be elected, who's trying to win over the populace, is going to say that they would attend a lynching of a black person in Mississippi and be in the front row? Obviously, she wasn't talking about a black person. What she meant was public hangings, public execution. She was saying there's some rancher, I couldn't find the story on it, but apparently some rancher, if someone invited her to his lynching, she would be in the front row. Basically somebody who deserved it. You mean to tell me we can't think of somebody who deserves to be hung in public and you wouldn't be sitting in the front row to see it? You really think this fucking lady said she would attend a racist lynching of a black person and be in the front fucking row? You're insulting your own intelligence if you believe that bullshit. Obviously, that's not what she fucking meant. But of course, they ran with it. And Michael Eric Dyson is saying, how can she sit up there and say that when you have Emmett Till, who was killed in Mississippi? You have Medgar Evers, who was killed in Mississippi. You have the Freedom Riders, the two Jewish guys and a black dude who was killed by the KKK in Mississippi. Well, let's see. It said that Mississippi had the most lynchings from 1862 to 1968. 1968, that's 50 fucking years ago. Emmett Till, he was killed in 1955. Those Freedom Riders were killed in 1961. Medgar Evers was assassinated in 1963. That's 50 plus, 60 plus fucking years ago. You mean to tell me those incidences have an effect on people now who weren't even alive then? How many Mississippians were alive when that shit was happening? And I mean old enough to realize the impact of the situation. Not, oh, I was 3 years old in 1955. Well, that doesn't fucking count, you dummy. All those things took place fucking years ago. Were they horrible situations? Yes. My father's side of the family is from Mississippi. I've been to the home of Medgar Evers. It's now a national monument. And it should be. It was crazy. The dude sat across the street from him and shot him with a high-powered rifle through his back. He was getting out of the car to carry groceries in the house. He had groceries in his hand. The bullet went through him, almost cut him in half, through his front window, through the living room wall, and they found the bullet in the refrigerator in the house. Shit was crazy. Byron Dellebeck was piece of shit. Yeah, those are horrible things that took place. But it was fucking years ago. They kept bringing up the scars of Mississippi, the scars of Mississippi. You can't get over the fucking scars of Mississippi if you don't quit talking about the fucking scars. How many people were fucking alive and able to realize the impact of it in Mississippi right today? That shit is fucking dumb. The last time I went to Mississippi was in late 2011, almost 2012. Did I see a bunch of racism? Granted, I was only there for about a week. Did I see any? No. All the white people I ran into, we went to restaurants, to the store, whatever. It was like a bunch of hey y'all and fucking sweet tea. I'm just saying I didn't see that. Did I see a bunch of crackheads? Yep. Did I see a crackhead trying to smoke crack out of his hand? Yep. Mississippi is ranked 42nd in education. Their violent crime rate is 121 times the national fucking average. But you're going to sit there and tell me that Mississippians need to be worried about some bullshit that the senator said that wasn't even racist? They need to be worried about people who were killed 50, 60 plus years ago? That's what they need to be worried about? Mississippi. Some of the highest crime rates, some of the lowest education rankings, but you need to be worried about some motherfuckers who were killed 60 years ago. That doesn't even make any sense, and it makes less sense when you say it out loud. Oh, and let me make a correction. In past videos, I said that California was ranked 49th in education. I was mistaken. Mississippi is ranked 49th in education. California is ranked 42nd. So we moved up 7 spots. Yay, California. So Mississippi is at the bottom of the barrel. I don't even want to know who's 50th. They're at the bottom of the barrel for education, at the top for crime rates, but you're telling me some shit that happened decades ago, or something a senator said that was misconstrued. It should be at the top of your list for worries. It's holding Mississippians back. It's fanning the flames of racism in Mississippi. Michael Eric Dyson and people of his ilk live off of this. This is how they make their money, going and speaking on channels like CNN and MSNBC and speaking engagements like Aretha Franklin's fucking funeral. Check the video I did on that bullshit, that shit show. This is how they get paid. It behooves them to keep this kind of shit alive, to keep this kind of racial division alive. Without it, they would not get paid. Now, apparently he's some professor at Georgetown University or some shit. Those parents are getting robbed. Who's paying that tuition? Indoctrinating and brainwashing these young people who would believe this fucking horse shit. This is how they keep control. This is how they keep getting the votes. They have to give you a boogeyman. They have to give you somebody that's making your life the way it is, that's causing these bad things to happen in your life. It's not your fault. It's the man. It's the Klan from 65 years ago. They're the ones who are keeping you down. It's their boot on your neck. Not your broken fucking family. Not your generations on welfare. No, it's the man. And not only it's the man from damn near 100 fucking years ago. Man, let me get back to this rat race. You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left. They just won't let me. Follow your boy on the Twitters, @Green_Jericho. I'm Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.